All right, moving on to the Druid. The Druid
I
gets
also
a new
like the
skill, a new
Druids.
core skill, in fact, called Stone Burst. And this is a core skill that's channeled. It kind of has a very unique kind of input mechanism compared to pretty much any other skill in Diablo 4. And as you're channeling it, you target an area, and as you channel it, the affected area grows in size over about 1 second of channeling. And at any point, you can release the channel, and it's going to deal a big burst of damage to whatever size you kind of landed on there.
Give him an example.
You could tap it really quickly and just do 1 pulse of damage to a small area, or you can channel up for a little bit longer and hit a much wider area, depending on the exact combat scenario you find yourself in, or how the enemies are distributed on the battlefield here. Of course, we've got our upgrades that increase damage to the enemies hit in the initial radius, so really doubling down on that single target capability of a core skill. And Primal Stone Burst gives you some attack speed, and Raging Stone Burst will dramatically increase the spirit cost, but also give it a ton more damage. So if you have a ton of spirit generation, then that might be the upgrade you look for in Stone Burst. Let's see a video of this in action.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so you see it ticks up. There's like 3 different levels, like small, medium, and large. In this one, the Druid kind of held it for a while, but you could release it at any time. And so here you see just kind of rapid firing a lot of quick small shots, just because they knew that would be enough to clear out the enemies here. And also while you're channeling it, does some pulses of damage to enemies in that area as well.
The channel explosion is so satisfying to blow up just so
many
monsters.
It is.
Yeah, it gets huge
really
and
amazing.
It looks so
okay,
sweet.
PTR,
too.
Barbarian,
Really
check.
Hats
Druid,
off to the VFX artists who worked on making these look so beautiful, the new skills here. All right, so of course, Druid also has new passives, a new key passive called One with Nature.
Additional
really empowers companion builds.
Damage.
We've heard a lot that players love playing with companions. They're wolves, they're poison creepers, they're ravens, and this is going to be the key passive for you. So all of your companion skills gain an additional companion, and they deal increased damage. And there's also a little bonus, basically, with you gain the passive effect of all of the companion skills. Now, if you're taking this key passive, you're probably taking these companions anyway, but just in case, your build is such that, well, I just want to take, 2 out of the 3, right? I can put wolves and poison creeper on my bar, but, maybe you don't have enough skill slots to put in ravens. You're still going to be able to get the passive effect of that when you take this key passive, because we just want you to have tons of these companions, really leading the charge here. We've also got Untamed, a new legendary Paragon node that plays right into this One with Nature key passive. Casting a companion skill is going to increase the companion active skill, will grant you bonus ranks to all of your companion skills for a time to really buff up the damage of those. Just like before, we've got some new passives coming into the skill tree as well. I think some of these might have some temporary icons on them. So like I said, these were from an early build. Some of the icons or very specific art might be adjusted. So bear with us. This is the nature of PTR and early development. All right, moving on to some of the items. Oh no, we've got a video. Oh right, a video of really leading a wolf pack here, right? So this includes
man, it's great. Check how many wolves you have. 1, 2. How many? 5?
I'm sure there's some other ones here, like
no more.
Aspect of the Stampede is probably involved. You just have, what is that, 7 wolves following you around?
Yeah, 7 wolves.
You really get to lead the wolf pack with this.
This is the best video in our presentation. Well, actually, no, sorry. This is the second best video in our presentation. You guys will see the best video in our presentation, but yeah, this is so.
This is like the wolf army. This really great. Really I love it.
I'm really looking forward to playing with this in patch 2.0.
Me too.
All right, so new items. So they've got the Stone of Vehemin. This is a unique totem that's going to empower your Stone Burst, the new core skill. So channeling it is going to grant you some damage reduction, and the final explosion will deal increased damage based on how long you were channeling it. So this just really encourages you to build it up to that max size and let off a huge explosion. And gives you some damage reduction, so you're kind of standing still for a bit. That's okay. You get a bit of bonus damage reduction. We've got a little bit more legendaries on Druid than the other classes, just because Stone Burst being a core skill, we know that the kind of bar to make a core skill really viable and useful, it does need a good amount of legendary items to support it, to really make a full build out of it. So that's why we've added 2 legendaries here for Stone Burst. We've got the aspect of Anticline Burst, which causes Stone Burst to deal increased damage And if you cast it at or above 100 spirit here, it's going to immediately be at that maximum size. So you don't necessarily need to channel it as long as you are casting it when you have a lot of spirit. This synergizes really well with the Earth and Might key passive, which gives you full spirit when it triggers. So you can trigger Earth and Might and then immediately get a huge stone burst. We've got Aspect of Shattered Defenses, which alters Stone Burst in a rather interesting way. It causes Stone Burst causes enemies to take increased damage from your other skills for a time and reduces Stone Burst spirit cost. This kind of converts Stone Burst away from necessarily being your primary damage source to being a bit more of a setup skill, right? You can kind of debuff enemies, and then you can find some interesting builds where you have other ways of spending your spirit, maybe another core skill or boulder or some other primary damage source, and then you can use Stone Burst to kind of set up that build. Really interesting to see how players, what kind of builds you make with Shattered Defenses. Additionally, we've got Aspect of the Rabid Bear, which empowers your Grizzly Rage to apply rabies and increases your poison output. Stormcrow, which is just lightning ravens. Your ravens are now lightning. It looks awesome. And Aspect of the Agile Wolf, which gives Shred a 4th attack. Shred normally is like a 3-part combo, and now it's a 4-part combo that deals even more damage on that 4th hit, and it's going to knock down enemies as well.
Fresh meat.